I am very fortunate and I am very happy that I could come to Santa Cruz. I can see what I am facing is the ocean of love, the seekers of love, the people who are seeking the truth. Gregor has told you all these things because he is very earnest, he is very concerned. He knows you are seekers. And that's why he has told you in these words, so don't be frightened. There's nothing to be frightened about it. You are seekers and you are a special category. In the eyes of God, seekers are the highest creation that He has created. You are the highest of all. To Him, it does not matter who are rich, who are in power, who are leading a life of so-called success. It does not matter to Him at all. He doesn't understand them. He does not know them. Christ has said that these people, if they want gold, let them have. They'll have bars of gold and live with it. But if they seek me, if they love me, then these people who are seekers today are going to enter into the kingdom of God, and He will eat with them. They will sit at the same table. You are respected because you are seekers. You are loved because you are seekers. And you have survived despite all the attacks. These are all attacks. You are naive, you are simple, you were innocent at that time when the attacks came in. Now gradually you are discovering that it was an attack. Everything that you did was just to put you down. And one person who was negative of that kind would come forward and assert and use all the negative forces to push you down. To me, you are my children. To me, I don't think what you have done, because you didn't meet me that time. I take the load upon myself. I did come to San Jose last time. They said that there are lots of seekers settling down in Santa Cruz. They did tell. I wanted to come and see you here that time only. But the experience I had of the people who were there, I thought they are not just now seeking God, but they are sort of seeking ego or superego. Sort of they are seeking into a new style of life, a new style of understanding, because they have found out that material life is of no value. It's not going to give them joy. At that time, when I said that, when you are thinking of these things, how can you pay for it? And nobody could understand these things. It was very difficult to talk to them, that it is spontaneous, it is your own right, you have to get it. You have been seeking for ages now, not only in this lifetime. You have been saints in many lives, and now you are born here to seek it. It's so simple as that. It has to happen. That's your nature. That's what you are. You try anything else, you won't be satisfied till you have found out the truth. But that time nobody would listen to me. It was a very funny situation. And I ultimately decided that let them find out for themselves to begin with. When they will find it out, they have to reach the right conclusion. Because there is one problem in the seeking, that you have to seek in your own freedom, in your own glory of your own choice. Because if you are to be liberated, it has to be a free choice. A person who is not free, say he is enticed, or he is hypnotized, or if he is overpowered by others, he has no freedom at all of any kind. Such a person is useless to enter into the kingdom of God. If you have to become the king, then you have to have that basic freedom in yourself intact. But freedom doesn't mean ego by any chance. It never means ego. If you think, I like it, I love it, I do it, that's not the spirit. You are not seekers of ego, I must tell you very frankly. You are not. You are seekers of truth, of love, of joy. For ages you have been seeking that. Joy is the result. When you get to that position where you become your spirit, your Atma, you should be in joy, not telling about it, talking about it, but enjoying it. And that has to happen to you. It's a happening for which you are built in for ages now. Today, in general, I will tell you what you are really and what you have to expect. To become what? Nobody has told you about it. They said, all right, you come to us into New Age. All right? People said, let's go and join. Somebody says that you will get this, you join it. William Blake, I must say, is one of the greatest prophets of the modern times. For you Western people, he said that the men of God, that means you people, you are people of God. You are not of this gross level. If people don't understand you, that doesn't mean that I don't understand. I know you, what you are. I know what it is. I can feel it. I just feel it. That he said men of God will become prophets, and these prophets will have powers to make others prophets. This is what we have to expect within ourselves. Don't worry about her. She has a problem here. She'll be all right. So you have to become the prophet. And you have to make others prophet. Now this is the point you should judge. Have you become the prophet? What is a prophet? Prophet is a person who can feel the all-pervading power around. Now I say there is all-pervading power of love. I say that. Oh, you also sing the song, we say yes, there is all-pervading power. Many people also feel that they are feeling it. It's not true. We have to be honest to ourselves because we are seekers. We should not cheat ourselves. Because this is ego that makes you cheat. This intelligence is the worst thing. Gregor himself told me one day that I find my intelligence is trying to cheat me very intelligently. So one has to be very careful to understand that you have to become that. You are the loser. You are the loser. Nobody else. If you play around with your ego, you are the loser. Or with your superego, your conditionings and your mesmerisms and hypnosis and your ideas about having a kind of a life, all that could be a great barrier to be the spirit, which is a different thing altogether, is beyond this. So when you become the spirit, what happens to you? What should you expect? Of course, it's true that there is this power around us. This all-pervading power is there. Now if I say there are lots of plays going on here, there's a music going on here, everything is there, you won't believe. If I bring a television and say, now this is the one which is going to show you, you will say, oh, I mean you know it, but in India if you take it to a village who has never seen a television, he'll say, this box? How can I do it? But you put it to the mains and the fantastic things can happen. It catches all that. In the same way, when you become that, when you get just, it is a little breakthrough, is just the plugging to the mains. Just that. You are all ready for that. Just that. And the fantastic thing happens. First you start feeling it all around. First thing. Now don't jump into ego there. That's not the end of it. You first start feeling it around. Then you start understanding that your centers are on your fingers. Fingertips, we say, is a very good. It's on my fingertips. Means sort of you are a master of that. And then you start feeling it around. And you know that it is there. Then I am here just to decode it, to tell you that this is what this finger means this. You verify it. You verify. It is so much surprising when people verify it. There was a gentleman in London. I had 7 hippies in London. And I worked on them for 4 years. English people, you know, are a little difficult to crack. I should say after 4 years, they really got their realization in a proper way. And after that, now, we have thousands of people who are realized in England. Because once they find something, then they get to it. They are not the people who are shifty. Somehow they have that much wisdom, I may say, that balance in them. Like they understand that if you have found a little water in a place, then go on digging there alone to have the well. Don't leave that and go to another place and dig well and dig well and dig well. You see, they can know where to stop. So these people were very, very skeptical in the beginning, extremely. One of them got realization, and he said, Mother, you said it is all pervading, it has got telecommunication and everything. What about my father, who has not telephoned to me and who always writes to me, has not written to me? He's in Scotland. I said, all right, you trunk call to him just now. I said, you feel it. Just put your hands like that. And he said, I'm getting a burning here. I said, all right, that means he must be down with very bad bronchitis. These are the centers of your father, and this is the center which denotes this finger. You telephone to him and find out. And he telephoned to him. And the mother said exactly the same sentence, that he's down with very bad bronchitis. Now this could be a cock and bull story. You see, the way Gregor was telling you, he was trying to establish my credibility to you. Because you see, it is such an apologetic condition in which I have come. It's a very funny situation that I have come in. I know that. The other day I went to see a very influential Indian man. Of course he knows me because of my husband, maybe that he knows that a person of that status may not come to this level of cheating others, whatever it is. But still he told me that he can't understand how people are taking to these horrible gurus and how these gurus came and cheated me also, and I helped them. Now, I would say that in Sahaja, it's a spontaneous happening, a living happening. You are a living being, and the force of God is also living, just like a fruit comes out of a flower. Just like this living process takes place, you become your spirit. We never think these things are around us. Every day we see. This is worked out by this all-pervading power. We can't do even with one flower. We cannot transfer even one flower into a fruit. We take it for granted. We never know that all such living things are done. Now look at it. There's a little bird which lays the egg. All right? The eggs are kept in the nest. The all-pervading power works it out in such a way that the eggs grow and the bird hatches them. And out of these eggs comes out a bird. A bird. We have seen caterpillars turning into butterflies. We never think how it happens. We just take them for granted. We enjoy their colors, we see them. We never see how this transformation has taken place and this transmutation has taken place. In Sanskrit language, a realized soul is called as Dvijaha, is the one who is born twice. Of course, this is also another problem. Last time I said you are to be born actually again. It is a living process. The Kundalini has to move throughout the centers and you have to feel the actualization of your realization. Means you must feel the cool breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area. The realization you have to feel. It's an actualization, it is not a make-believe. I told them 100 times. And they were taping me. Some people told me, Mother, don't allow them to tape. I said, let them tape. What's the matter? I'm not running any enterprise. Let the message go ahead. They said, no. They will use it for some purpose. I said, let them use. For what purpose are they going to use? I don't understand. I don't understand these human laws. I'm very bad at it. And human beings, I am also worse. These people met me the other day in Sydney after so many years. They have branded themselves as born again. And they just sell certificate. We are born again, we are born again. I said, but how? Oh, we are born again. But what is the proof that you are born again, my children? What's the proof? How do you believe you are born again? There must be some proof of it. Oh, we are born again, finished. Now you cannot self-certify yourself. If you do that, it is ego. Understand that. If you are born again, you should be able to feel the centers of other people. You should be able to feel your own centers. You should be able to judge yourself and cure yourself, and you could cure others. Not only that, but you can raise their Kundalini and give them realization. This is the minimum of minimum should happen. I mean, an egg, if it starts saying, I'm a bird, does it become? It's an egg, and an egg is an egg. If it says, oh, I'm the bird, it can't fly. It has to really fly. If you tell the egg, Mr. Egg, will you please fly? Some of the nursery rhymes says, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. You see? That's what they are. They believe that we are great people and they sat on a wall, and when they fell down, all the king's horses and all the king's men could not put them together again. This is what it is a make-believe that we are born again. But what's the use? What's the use, you say? It's of no use to you. You are seekers. Out and out you are seekers. You are nothing but seekers of spirit. Accept that situation. First of all, accept yourself. These false certificates are not going to help you by any chance. Again I go away, you find another guru, get after him, get after another one. I mean, some of them just end up into lunatic asylum. I don't know what to do with them. When this happens to you, physically you feel all right. I mean, cancer can only be cured through your Kundalini awakening. I've been saying this for the last 10 years. I've also cured cancer automatically of people as a byproduct. All diseases get cured. That is the minimum of minimum that should happen to you. After all, realization is not some sort of a cheap thing you can go and buy in the market like a takeaway food. It is your spirit, which is an eternal being, which you achieve. You achieve your absolute value. You become that, though it happens so spontaneously, so easily that you can't believe. You have no self-esteem. You can't believe it, that you have got it really in the beginning. People just don't believe it. I've seen it is impossible. They can't believe it that this has happened to me. And when they don't believe it, they don't want to practice it any further. It's so surprising. First you have to get it, the sprouting of the Kundalini, and then you have to allow it to grow. And once you grow into it, then you are like a tree. As Gregor says, it's true. You see, he was here in Santa Cruz, went to Barclay. There he met a very good Sahaja yogi from India. I just came down to London. That time I saw him and I said, look at this seeker coming down. I went to see him at the station. And I was surprised. He was so frantic. He was so upset. And I was surprised at his center. See, I know what he was. He is a seeker, I know that. I had such love and such feeling. I said, look at this, my child. Where is he lost? What has happened to him? Now we have to know what we are, what we have to achieve, or where we have to go. That's an important thing. As I have told you, you must know what you have to achieve, what you get. In a very gross way, I have told you. Actually, it's so dynamic, it's so fantastic that if I tell you any more stories of it, you'll say it's really a cock and bull story. But there is God. He's there, no doubt. And he's dynamic. And he's all powerful. And that he's all love. And that he loves you so much that he wants you to enjoy his kingdom. It's true, no doubt about it. I'm here to prove everything to you. Not to talk and give sermons and all that, but to prove it to you. And his powers are so fantastic, so fantastic. At every level, how they work out is amazing. You have to just become. Becoming is the main thing. Just you become. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm your mother. You have every right on me. I shouldn't say I'm your guru, because I'm only here to connect you to yourself and you become your own guru. You don't need any guru anymore. Once you are connected to the mains, you become your own guru. You know this Warren Reeves, Dr. Warren Reeves, he came to me and I had to stick on to him because he was all the time running away. He's been to so many gurus who pampered his ego, this thing, oh, you are a great seeker, you are great, you are this, you are already a realized soul. You see all these things were sticking onto his head. And it was very difficult, you see, to get him together. And also, I do not work in the cities. I actually work in the villages of India where really thousands of people have got realization. He has seen 6,000 people have got realization at a time. But Indians are wise people, wise. And they are the people who do not indulge into extremes. In their seeking also they are wise and they know what to expect. So it's easy for me to work out. And they're innocent people, still not exposed to this sort of what you call a material exposure that you have had. Though you have denied it, but you can't help it. Your brain is modern. You may try to look like primitive people. The brain is modern. What can you do? It thinks. Just by changing your brain, you do not become that. See, this is the point we should know. So it's easy there to work it out. And in the villages, you know, in Indian villages, you don't even get sometimes a car to move out. You have to go in a bullock cart, and there's no bathroom, you have to go to the river. I mean, lots of things are there. It's all right for a change or a holiday. But when you have to be with me for 3 months like that, it was too much for him. But still he managed. And now, you'll be amazed, he has established 7 centers in Australia in 7 cities. If you ask him how many people he has given realization to, he said, I don't remember. So one light which is enlightened can enlighten another light. But the first light has to be an enlightened light. Now once you say that you are enlightened, everybody's ego starts coming up. I tell you, it's very common with the Western people. Every time I went to some place, they said, why you of all the things, mother? I said, no, it's all right, you come along. It's a good idea. I would like to retire. I said, my husband would pay a man who could do my job. It's a thankless job. to work for days together and nights together, and he'll be very happy to do that for you. Can you come down here? It's all right. He's finding it difficult to sit down. It's too much for some people. You have to be comfortable. You can come down. There's a room here. Nima, dikhali. Now, this problem of becoming is not yours, is mine. For the time being. When you become that, then it is yours. Like once I know how to swim, I can save you. If I do not know how to swim, how can I make you swim? When you learn how to swim, you can also save other people. It's very simple. But even if you say it is saving, people get frightened. No, it's becoming. It's what you are. To get to that is the point. Now, I would like, in general, to tell you today what we are and what has going to happen to us when we become realized souls. These are gross manifestations of the powers I told you. I mean, when you became human being, you got your awareness in a different way than the animals are. Because for animals, for example, they don't understand the beauty of this room, for example. They won't. They don't understand anything that is filthy or dirty. They have no smell power. They somehow or other manage. They can live under any circumstances without smelling anything. Now, we don't have to learn anything from animals. At the first outset, I must tell you. We don't have to learn. We are on top of all the creation. And we have to assume our position. Once we assume our position, you become that. And once you become that, then you are amazed how fantastic you are. That is the discovery you have to have. Now, within ourselves, I think all of you have got this unique discovery, so it's easy for you to see what I'm about to say. Now, you'll be amazed. This lecture I gave about 10 years back in India to begin with. After that, there have been many lectures. But if you have this, it's a good idea. You can go home and see for yourself. But you also have a little pamphlet. If you can turn to that pamphlet, on the back side is the complete picture of the Kundalini.
No, they don't have that yet.
Not the pamphlet? The blue pamphlet they have.
Some of them have, not all.
Oh, not all. All right, doesn't matter. You can see that. Now this is, we can say, is the God, the primordial being who has made you, this, in his own image. But still, the reflector that is the human being is not complete. Within us lies this subtle mechanism which is called as actually the Tantra. This is the real Tantra, but it's a holy Tantra. It's an auspicious thing, which gives us righteousness. You see, when we think of the Tantrikas, they're the worst of all. They make money, they do all kinds of violence, they teach you all kinds of nonsensical things. I mean, they indulge into any kind of sex, they use your women, they use your money, they do all kinds of things. Now, I must say this is the holy mechanism. This is the pure mechanism. It's the purity. It's completely pure love. It's not biased. This mechanism exists within you and expresses itself outside in the gross also, to a great extent, that it expresses itself as, on the left-hand side, if you see, is the power of your desire, called as Ichha Shakti. This expresses itself as within us as our emotions, as our psyche, as they call it. Gregor has rightly said that Freud was quite half-baked because he knew only one part of the human being. That too very little is the psyche. Because all the scientists see things from outside in. If you see a tree from outside, if there's something wrong with the leaf, you try to treat the leaf. But how to treat the whole tree is through the roots. So you go to the roots of your being. And these are the roots. The one side of it is the power of desire. And it goes down up to the first center. I'll be telling you tomorrow morning about these centers. The another power is the power of action, which enacts your desire, which works out your desire. This yellow color. Now this gives you your future. You enter into your future by your planning, by your thinking, for working out. The left side gives you your past. It goes on accumulating on the left-hand side, and the deeper you move, on the left-hand side, there is the collective subconscious. First the subconscious, and then the collective subconscious. Now this is very important to know, that when we indulge too much into the left subconscious, then it's a very dangerous situation, as well as if we move into the right side is the supraconscious, and then to the collective supraconscious is a very dangerous situation. Moving into the left and the right is an easy thing for human beings to do. Because if you want to do something, if you try to do something about it, and if you are not spontaneous, what happens? That your sympathetic nervous system, which is governed by these subtle energies, goes into action, and you either move into your left side or into the right side. For example, if you want to run now, these days many people are just running. I mean, there's some limit to things also. I mean, you can run once in a while, but all the time running, what is the need? And human beings are delicate things. I mean, the way we go headlong into everything, like a bull in a china shop, that's not necessary. The way you ruin yourselves also because you think this body is your own, do what you like. You must respect your body. This is the temple of God. So, when you start overdoing something on the left or the right side, say some people are crying, weeping, singing praise of death and all that, so they have it. Some people say we must suffer. All right? Then you suffer, have Hitler on top of your head. If you want more, you can have them. Any number. There are already so many coming to make you suffer. There is no need for you to suffer. Somebody has suffered for you once for all. There is no need for you to suffer anymore. You are just ready to enter into the kingdom of God. So if you try to go too much on the left-hand side or too much on the right-hand side, you feel that you have gone into a new world. You have not. For example, take a simple thing like LSD when you take. Now what happens when you take LSD? When you take LSD, you move to the right side. You start seeing the lights, you start seeing the eyes and all that. It's the movement on the right-hand side. Actually, it pulls your ego to the right-hand side and you start seeing that. And once you see that, you do not become anything. You just see it. Seeing it is not becoming. You have to become. And once you start seeing it, you think that you have become a higher personality. It's absolutely wrong. You are under the domain, under the control of something else. You are not yourself. We'll say the supraconscious, the ideal, or we can say the last word on the collective supraconscious was Hitler. He got lost completely. He did use, he was using tantrikas, so-called tantrikas, these horrible people, those who call themselves tantrikas, and he was using all that knowledge, so-called, how to use these forces. These forces come to you through dead spirits who are very, very powerful in their lifetime, and those cannot give up that idea of domination, and they are on this earth still all around. Then the left-sided people are the people who indulge into other kinds of things, we can say other alcoholic and other things, or ganjas and all these things, by which you become absolutely sort of all the time crying, weeping, this, that. In that you see your past is a good idea in a way. but bad idea also in a way, because you are in the present, not in your past. Past doesn't exist anymore, it's finished now. What exists is the present. Either you are in the future or in the past. And when you go too much into it, you get identified and you think, this is what is the truth. It is not. I have to tell you that it is not. What is the truth is your spirit. That is your evolutionary process has to little bit trigger it. And that's how you become. By becoming that, what happens to you? You don't start jumping like mad. No, it's not. Anybody can jump. Is it difficult to jump? Some people who said that we went for a flying course. They paid 3,000 pounds to fly. I mean, why? What is the need? I mean, you don't want to become birds or frogs, do you? And they were nothing but like frogs, you see, jumping in the places. In my presence, they were jumping like that. I didn't know how to control them. And they had paid 3,000 pounds for this. The other day in a plane, I had somebody from that kind of a thing was sitting, and he was all the time doing like this because I was sitting behind him. I said, I better get out from here and go at the back. You are not in your own control. You have to be your own master. Now, you must know this, that you should be able to control yourself is the main point. Like in the car, these two powers we can, just as a symbol, I'll tell you, can be compared as one as the brake and another as the accelerator. First, you don't know how to drive, all right? So you are sitting and first you are going into a ditch, then sometimes you are getting out, trying to balance it, then you know how to drive. When do you know? When you know. If you ask me, Mother, when do we know how to drive? I mean, when you know, is the main simple thing is. So now you have managed both this. First you have made accidents, you have done all mistakes, you have gone this side, that side, doesn't matter. As long as you learn how to drive, finished. See? So first you have a driving license. Then you start arranging these two things. You keep yourself into balance. You come into balance, still you are not the master of the car, but you are master as far as the mechanism is concerned. So there is a master who is sitting of the car and of you. So in the beginning, you should be master of your body, master of everything. Then what happens? That you become the master of the car as well. So first, you balance yourself in such a way that you know how to master your body, your mind and everything. And then you become that by which you can master other people also. But mastery doesn't mean domination is love. It's a wrong idea that a master is a person who dominates. It's come from where, I don't know. Master is the one who loves, who really loves. He may just sometimes tell you, don't do this, because it's wrong. You see the whole bad things happening, he may tell you. But he is a comforter, as he said. He's a comforter. Comforter because you have felt no love in your life. The real love you have not felt. You want some place where you can get that love, so he's a comforter, is the left side. In our Sahaja Yoga language, we call the comforter as Mahakali. She's the Holy Ghost. From that comforter, other aspects come out. The second aspect is what you call is the counselor, the one who tells you what is what, decodes everything, tells you how to manage, how to go ahead, like an instructor. And you verify that. And the third, the second one in our Sahaja Yoga, this thing is called as Mahasaraswati. And the third one is the Redeemer, the one who redeems, gives you moksha. Through the Sushumnapat, through the middle, is called as Mahalakshmi. These are the three powers which exist within us. The first left one manifests the left sympathetic, the second one manifests the right sympathetic, and the third one gives you the parasympathetic, which controls these two centers, which coordinates, cooperates, and refills. But it is still a limited amount of energy. Now some people tell me that we went to a person, we felt the energy. What sort of an energy we were feeling? Very much like shaking and all that. No, that's not good. If you are not possessed, you should not shake before a person. On the contrary, you start feeling the cool breeze in the hand. You feel completely relaxed. How do you know that? You see, what happens through Sahaja Yoga is the way. It's very good. You should see for yourself. Get 3 people, one from lunatic asylum, certified mad, who is a certified mad. Get another one who is not realized. Get the third one who is realized. They sit down. Now you ask them to put their hands towards you. Now the person who is lunatic will be doing like this. Now if there's a cancer patient, he will be emitting tremendous heat, so much so that you don't need heater even in London or in December or January. If there's somebody like that around, you don't need any. But supposing that person is just a normal person, a balanced person, is in the center, he starts feeling the cool breeze. And the realized soul starts feeling the whole thing coming on. So this is what you have to judge with people. When they come, you should know what happens to them. Now, if you are seeking reality, you must know that you have to face yourself as you are today. Need not try to hide anything, because there's nothing to be hidden from your mother. I don't care whatever you have done. I just don't bother. Not necessary. The first mantra in Sahaja Yoga is to be said is that, Mother, I am not guilty. You have to say it at least 16 times in your heart, that Mother, I am not guilty. This is the first mantra of Sahaja Yoga. Because you in yourself, you see, the whole things have crawled up into a diffidence in life. Even the ego sometimes, because it gets hurt, you know. When you do mistakes or anything, it gets hurt. And when it gets hurt, you get diffident. So it is built up within you as diffidence. So when you say, Mother, I am not guilty, your self-esteem is established. First day, you better establish your self-esteem. So now I am here to tell you, within you lies this power of Kundalini. I was very happy to know that people have reached the conclusion that it is the Kundalini awakening which is going to do the job. It's a very good conclusion you have reached. But any Dick, Tom and Harry cannot do it. One should know that. Say it is the sprouting, is the living process. Now logically we should approach the subject. You are all very intelligent people, I can see that. You are not stupid people. Try to understand. Now, living thing like sprouting a seed. If you want to sprout a seed, can you pull it out? Or if you stand on your head, will it happen? They are such sweet things. Hello. What is it? All right, sit down now. Will you sit down for a while? Thank you very much. They are realized souls. They are born realized. So many children are born realized. Do you know that? So many children are born realized, and if you are not realized children, you are going to harm them. You have to know what are they. They know me better than you people do. And they are going to come up. Wait for 10 years more. They are going to create that great, beautiful mansion of love for you. All right. So this Kundalini is the power within us. What power is this? This is the power of primordial desire within us, a primordial desire within us to be one with the divine, to be united with the divine. And this is the yoga. All the rest of it is not. Yoga is nothing that as you are to be connected with the divine is the yoga. Alright? If that is so, this desire is not yet manifested, so it is called as a sleeping Kundalini. And only the person who has that warmth of the Mother Earth can do it. It's simple as that. Everyone who thinks that Kundalini is to be awakened must know that it's a spontaneous, living happening, just like a sprouting of a seed. You cannot just pull it out. It cannot be done by any effort. It's spontaneous. I mean, if it is evolutionary, logically we can find out we did nothing to become human beings from amoeba stage, or from say, we didn't cut our tails to become human beings, did we? We didn't do anything. It has happened so spontaneously. But where is the change in us? Let's see. Again, logically. Not rationality, but logically I am saying. Rationality could be quite mad. Logically, we should understand what is the difference we have got is in our awareness. So something has to happen in awareness. Not in a way that you just start jumping or taking out your clothes and doing all nonsensical things. It's very easy. I mean, in the bathroom everybody does it, so great. Must understand. But you can see with your naked eyes the pulsation of this Kundalini, not in all. If you are a first-class instrument, it just happens, just like that. Like a jet it goes. It's a jet Kundalini, in the jet age. It is. It has to happen to all of you. Now, why some people say that people said you have to do so much and you have to do like this and you have to do that and you have to cleanse yourself and then only you got your realization? Why is it so simple today? The reason is the time has come. In the beginning of a tree's life, only 1 or 2 flowers come in, but now the blossom time has come. So many seekers I see before me, just like flowers about to become the fruits. There were never such seekers before, I must tell you, whatever you may say against the modern times. This is the outcome of that. Without this chaos, there would have been not so many. This is the time being predicted that many saints will be born at this time. At Nala Damayanti Purana, imagine thousands of years back it was written. When this Kali Yuga, the modern times, the one who creates the Kali, he was caught up by somebody and he said that, Nala, he said, what do you mean by torturing me and my wife like this? I'm going to kill you. So the Kali said, all right, you can kill me, but you have to find out one thing about me. You must know what I am and what I represent. He said, what's your use, you tell me. He said, when the modern times will come, we call it as Kali Yuga. At this time, these saints who are seeking God in the hills and dales and in Himalayas will be born as ordinary householders. And they are going to receive their blessings. It's already promised. If so, that happening has to take place. But as soon as people came to know that people are seeking, the market got charmed. And you got into the trap. These are all enterprises, take it from me. Even holidaying is an enterprise. It's a very subtle method of making money out of you. Now I think most of them are getting a little worried because all their advertising and all that is a little bit failing and they don't know how to find out new methods of advertising to get round you. These people are not interested in Indian villagers. They are not. They are interested in Los Angeles or in Santa Cruz where they can extract money. It is an enterprise. You cannot sell God, can you? You cannot organize him. Some lady paid $4,000 very recently, and I heard Somebody told me that she just went there, she danced, she took out her clothes, became mad and came back. You pay to go to lunatic asylum or what? But it helps you to go there because of fashion on. Everybody's going, oh, I've been there to that guru. It's so maddening. These are new forms of the old wines. You must understand, these are the new forms of the old wines. Like in olden days, you see, people who could donate for a church were regarded very religious. Like, even now, I think that some of the Jews, if they have a diamond jeweled Bible, and if they can tie it there, they think we are very religious. They show also. They show it nicely that they have got one. All these false ideas, see, of God, you better give up because you are not false. You are seekers. Let them go on with that nonsense. But you are seekers, so you take to the truth and you become that. I think today is quite a lot for you. I would like you to ask me some questions, but sensible questions, and don't be aggressive with me. I'm very clever, as he told me, him. She's a masterpiece of camouflage. It's true. I am. So be careful. If you have any real questions, ask me. If you are not a true seeker and you are just trying to show off, you are cheating yourself. Don't try to show off. I read this book, I read that book, this happened, what do you think of this guru? Don't bring me into controversies unnecessary. If they were of any value, you would have been realized souls. I can make out from you who was your guru, even that. The way they have ruined your kundalinis, some of the kundalinis are so ruined. I see them just like wounded, what you should say, the wounded snake-like. They are tossing their heads like this. And it's so bleeding. You don't know how much they have harmed you. Don't ask me about these cruel people. If I start blasting them, you'll be amazed how they are. I love you very much, but I don't love them. I'm wrathful, very angry with them, because they are devils, satanic. If they wanted money, they could have smuggled. It's all right. They could have done something like that. But they should not have ruined your kundalini. They had no business to do it. They will go to hell, no doubt, but they'll be carrying so many with them. They know that. They're trying to overpower. They're antichrist. They think they can win over God. Let them know that God's power are so powerful that they can be just destroyed like this. They all can be destroyed in one stroke, but only thing why they are not destroyed, because today they are in your brains. Krishna has said, whenever there is the fall of dharma, fall of your values, your virtues, whenever the saints are suffer, I come on this earth to save the saints and kill the devils. But the devils have gone into the saints now. It's a problem, a dilemma for me, what to do. These devils have come into your brains. They have to be taken out first of all. Just wait for me to finish. Do not stick on to one question. If you stick on, you'll miss the whole point, all right? By questioning, you will not get realization, I tell you. It's not a mental activity. It is beyond, it's triggering beyond the mental activity. This lecture is useless if you do not get realization. In the beginning of the Vedas, it is written that if you do not get the knowledge doesn't mean going mad, all right? Doesn't mean hypnosis. But if you do not feel the all-pervading power, then these Vedas are useless. In the same way, my lecture and all mental activity is useless if you do not get your realization. That's the main thing you must have. All right? May God bless you. Now ask me a question.